Batman, the animated series. The journey of the DCAU begins in the early 90s, where we see a young Bruce Wayne navigating the dark streets of Gotham as Batman. The trauma of losing his parents fuels his mission, but it also isolates him, creating a brooding, solitary figure, constantly fighting with his dual identity as Bruce Wayne and Batman. This series is known for the origins of iconic villains like the Joker, Two-Face, and Catwoman, as well as the development of Batman's relationships with his allies, particularly Commissioner Gordon, Alfred, and Dick Grayson's Robin. As tensions rise in Gotham, Metropolis stands out as the new symbol of hope, Superman, the animated series. Set in the late 90s, about 4 years after the events of Batman, they introduce us to Clark Kent's dual life, balancing his humanity with his godlike powers. The series also begins laying the groundwork for the broader DCAU, with appearances from heroes like Green Lantern and Flash. Alongside this, the emergence of Superman's greatest foes, including Lex Luthor and Brainiac. In the same years as Superman, the animated series, the DCAU reintroduces us to Gotham with the new Batman adventures. This series presents a more seasoned Batman and a new generation of allies, including Tim Drake as the new Robin and Barbara Gordon, fully stepping into her role as Batgirl. It reflects Batman's evolution, showing a man who is more controlled but still deeply haunted by his past and the responsibilities he bears. We witness the transition of Dick Grayson from Robin to Nightwing and the deepening of Batman's relationships with his allies. Set approximately 3 years after the events of the new adventure, we are introduced to a new teenage hero in Dakota City. This is Static Shock. His story is more grounded, dealing with issues like racism, gang violence, and abuse of power. His path inevitably crosses with the larger DCAU, including several crossover moments with other heroes. He's often seen as the most likable character in the entire universe. Static's unique perspective and youthful energy make him an integral part of the DCAU, earning him the respect and admiration of his fellow heroes. As the world grows more dangerous and new heroes emerging on Earth, it was clear that action was needed. This led to the creation of a new team of heroes, united to cure the world from evils, the Justice League. With the formation of the Justice League, the DCAU expands dramatically. Set just a few years after the events of the new adventures of Batman and Superman's animated series, the Justice League shows us heroes from across the globe and beyond, coming together to fight threats too big for any one of them. Justice League Unlimited takes the League to new heights. Set a few years after the events of Justice League in the mid to late 2000s, we witness the team grow into the most formidable force in existence. The League expands by adding new members such as Black Canary, Supergirl, Green Arrow, and hundreds more. But even with their immense power, they are far from perfect. The series explores themes of betrayal, heartbreak, and the rise of their most dangerous adversary yet, Lex Luthor. The introduction of Amanda Waller and the Cadmus arc shakes the League to its core. The impact of Cadmus fundamentally changes the trajectory of the Justice League. The repercussions of the events in Justice League Unlimited will affect the rest of the timeline, leaving a lasting impact on the universe. About 40 years later, in the 2040s, we return to Gotham City, but it's a very different Gotham than the one we once knew. Batman has been absent for over 2 decades, his disappearance a mystery to the public. Batgirl has vanished without a trace. Tim Drake is no longer Robin due to the severe trauma he endured, and Nightwing's nowhere to be seen. A new generation of villains have taken to the streets, and Gotham is in worse shape than ever. The people are desperate for a savior. Gotham needs a new Batman, someone who can restore the city to its former glory. And that person is ready to rise to the challenge. This is Batman Beyond. Set roughly 40 years after the events of Justice League Unlimited, Batman Beyond introduces us to a futuristic Gotham and a new Batman named Terry McGinnis. Under the guidance of the now elderly Bruce Wayne, Terry gives Gotham a fresh start. In this timeline, we witness familiar faces like Barbara Gordon, Superman, Static, Tim Drake, as well as new characters like Dana, Melanie, and Max. You might think the DCAU would have concluded with Batman Beyond, but that's not exactly the case. The true end of the animated U, and the furthest point in its timeline, actually takes place in Justice League Unlimited. We get an episode titled Epilog, which serves as the final chapter, bringing closure to the entire DCAU. Epilog is set about 15 years after the events of Batman Beyond in the late 2050s to early 2060s. The episode centers around Terry McGinnis, now in his 30s, who undergoes an identity crisis when he discovers that he's actually Bruce Wayne's clone. a result of a project Amanda Waller initiated during the 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 days. 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 was a secret government project designed to counter the perceived threat of metahumans, particularly the Justice League. However, as the project developed, it became clear that 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 was crossing ethical lines, manipulating genetics, and engaging in morally dubious actions to achieve its goals. Amanda tells Terry the truth about 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 and Project Batman Beyond, explaining what made the decision to clone Bruce. She tells the story of Ace, a young girl with powerful reality-warping abilities, whom Waller once ordered Batman to kill to prevent her from becoming a threat. However, Batman refused to follow those orders, choosing instead to stay with Ace as she was already dying. This act of compassion changed Waller's perception of Batman forever, turning her into an ally. From that day on, she was inspired to create a new Batman for the inevitable day when Bruce Wayne would have to retire, leading to the launch of Project Batman Beyond, leading the birth of Terry McGinnis. This final chapter ties together all the stories of the DCAU, giving fans a satisfying and heartfelt conclusion. It's a testament to the incredible work of the creators and voice actors, whose contributions have created a legacy that will be remembered for years to come.